Hi, this is Professor Jordan Kligerman with Mark Morris, Vice President of Field Operations for NFL Films, and this is our third installment of Keepers of the Flame, NFL Films at the Super Bowl. Mark Morris, you're in the trailer outside of SoFi Stadium, I'm guessing, in Los Angeles.
That's correct. Sorry, I didn't give you better background than this. But I am in a trailer in the NFL broadcast compound.
Well, I like all the, it looks like you got some maps and schematics and like trailer maps.
Map of the compound over here and the map of the stadium over here. And then they're printing up maps of inside the stadium that will hang up pretty soon.
I guess that's kind of like a full disclosure. I worked with you in field operations, so I know some of what you did at least a long time ago. I've been kind of out of the loop for a bit, but What is field operations doing and what's the role of your department there in Los Angeles?
So, well, our role at NFL Films is we're in charge of setting up all the productions that happen for the company, and that includes the football game. So obviously this is the biggest game of the year. So my whole staff is here, and we're in charge of getting everybody here, all the logistics that take place for the Super Bowl. So from travel to credentials for the game to camera positions inside the stadium, we take care of all of that stuff.
And how many people, talk about mobilization. So not just your unit, but the company. And then also I know that you're doing a world feed for television, all of those kind of things.
Yep. So we travel, it's about 300 people that we travel to the Super Bowl. And like you say, that's people we do the world feed. So NBC has the domestic, they do it domestically for the United States, and then we do it for the rest of the world. There's a crew of about 50, 55 people that come in to do that. And then we cable the whole stadium for all the cameras and stuff like that. So there's a whole utility crew that comes in to do that. And then we have a bunch of productions that go on as well as just the game. So Inside the NFL is here with a crew. We do their studio show on location here. We take care of that. We're doing a show for NBC called Women in the NFL. It's called Earning It. And we have 7 crews that are here shooting for that. We do Disney, the spot where I'm going to Disney World. We do that. And so we have crews that are here for those productions. So it's a crew of 300 and some odd people that are doing stuff all around Los Angeles. Not only that, but we also do interviews down at the Radio Row for all of our productions that we do throughout the year. It's a large production. It's a lot of work. I have a great crew of people that are, there's about 12 of us here that are working. When Jordan and I did it, was probably him and I. It's now grown to about 12 people that are here that are doing just logistics of getting everybody here, making sure we have everything.
So you're saying you and I can do the work of 12 people?
That is exactly what I'm saying.
Well, I think the one spot, the one kind of production that probably jumped out of there was the Disney World spot, and NFL Films has been responsible for that since its inception. I'm imagining. Walk me through that one really quick. How does that work?
Yeah, so we've done that. I think this is probably the 30th year, maybe, that we've done it. And so at the end of the game, Disney has people that are down there deciding on who they want to be it. It's typically the MVP or a quarterback or something like that at the end of the game. And in the old days, we used to go down there and get in the scrum of all the people. We'd have to find the person and pull them out, and then they'd have cue cards for them. I'm going to Disney World. I'm going to Disneyland. We have a cruise down there, and they're shooting it, and all hell would break loose down there. But we have it a little more organized today. So at the end of the game, broadcasting department for the NFL will grab the player that we select. They'll bring them over to a designated spot for us, and then we'll shoot the line. And the line is, I'm going to Disney World, or I'm going to Disneyland. And then they air that commercial later that evening. So I think
really quick, right? Right after the trophy presentation, it's usually right.
Yeah, the turnaround is very quick. So we have a production truck here that's then taking it, editing it, putting in all the graphics, doing everything for that. And then we send it to ABC, and then they send it off.
When you and I first were doing Super Bowls together, we were shooting film, obviously, which has changed, and having to collect all that film and I just remember these big yellow canvas bags and getting them to the airport and the whole thing. And how has that changed so much now that you're using kind of digital intermediaries and
Yep.
can edit right on site? And how much has that evolved in what happens from a
It
production?
has changed so much from when we were doing it, because like you said, we were shooting film. The film would have to get packed up. We'd put it on a private plane, send it back to NFL Films for processing, and then that would go on for a couple of days, and then they'd start editing the pieces. Everything is so quick today. So what we do is in every NFL stadium, we have a thing called a VTN, a venue transmission network of computers. So our guys shoot digitally now. We take the cards out of the camera when we're done at the end of like pregame, end of first quarter, second quarter, third quarter. We have runners that run around, pick up the cards from the cameraman, and then they run it to the VTN where we have media wranglers. We're then logging it into computer systems. We then feed it through the system, and it's back at NFL Films. Like the pregame is back at NFL Films at the first quarter. So
That's
editors
amazing.
can start working on it right away, and it's worked out really well. It's the turnaround that we can do now is so fast that all the shows now got moved up. So inside the NFL used to be on Wednesday when we were doing film. It's now on a Tuesday because we can get the stuff back quickly. But it's worked out really well. It's a great system for us for the digital.
Yeah, it never works out that you can do one part faster, so then you still get all that extra time on the back end. It's like that just means you can turn it around quicker, right?
You just have to turn it around.
You just have to still work just as hard and fast. You just
exactly. That's exactly correct.
That's great. Listen, how many Super Bowls have you been to? What number are we at here?
So this is number 27 for me, and yeah, it's been a long time. It seems weird that it's 27 Super Bowls. I don't feel like I've been here for that long, but my hair will tell you that I have been here for that long. Yeah, this is number 27. They're all spectacular. They were so kind of easy to do in the beginning, but the NFL has turned the game into something that is just unbelievable. And so it's become much, much harder to do these productions. But like I say, have a great staff of people, and the people that we bring in year in and year out that do all of our cabling for us and stuff like that. And it's a great crew.
I know this by this time of year back, 20 years ago, you were already in Hawaii, like on vacation. You weren't still working games and stuff.
Those were the days when the Pro Bowl was after the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Hawaii. Now the Pro Bowl this year was the weekend. Obviously, it just passed the weekend before the Super Bowl, and it was in Las Vegas. So I didn't even go to the Pro Bowl this year. I have people that just go and do that for us. But yeah, the days of going to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii those were fun times, huh, Jordan?
I loved it.
Yeah, those were the best, but we don't do that anymore.
That's all right. So last question for you, Mark. 27 Super Bowls. Is there one Super Bowl or moment or something that really stands out when you kind of look back at all of those games and all of those productions and all of that footage you helped create? Is there something that really kind of resonates?
That's a good question, but most of the time I'm just trying to get through the game. I'm just counting down minutes, like, is this game over yet? Walk around the state. The ones that stand out to me are the problems that happen. Like in Minnesota, a guy fell down, that was on the sideline, hit his head, got hurt. We had those kind of things that I remember. I don't really get to watch the game. So nothing really stands out. I do remember the game. I think it was the Pittsburgh game where they caught that ball in the end zone. I forgot who it was. That game stands out to me, but I think it was in Arizona. But they all kind of run together after 27 years, Right. I'm just worried about trying to get the production done and on time and everybody safely to where they have to go. And as long as we get that done, I feel good.
Yeah, when you casually talk about what field operations does, the part you left out is that it's kind of the fixer unit. Like it's triage, it's when everything fails, that's the group that has to roll their sleeves up and figure out how to solve the problem and keep the show on the road. So
yep, exactly.
I love to be a part of it. I'm excited that you're still obviously running the show there.
Yeah.
And good luck in this one.
All right, we miss you. We wish you were here.
I miss you too. I wish I was there too. It's snowing here, but we do love our snow in Syracuse, so I'm not worried about that.
It's 72 and sunny. Come on out.
That's right. All right, Mark. Be well. Take care.
All right. Thanks, Jordan.